So this is game one. I think I'm recording. And he has a pretty aggressive start, I guess. But our start's okay too. So I'm gonna hold that precursor golem probably as long as I can. Within reason. That's not so good for me. But we do have 3 life plus a wall of tangle coming up. I'm gonna play this gold mirror off of 2 forest. So he's putting a lot of flyers at us. But that's okay. I'm gonna drop the Peace Rider. Don't want to waste my removal, even though I have 2 of it. I think I want to see if I can get better things. Peace Strider will totally buy me some life, buy me some damage on his next turn, and give me a better idea of where I stand. Okay. So his board is pretty aggressive. Land makes me Peerless Mirror is probably going to attack me for 2, 3. Probably going to attack me for 3. Don't see it not attacking me for 3. He has 4 artifacts. I can't clear them fast enough to get rid of that. I can play this Precursor Golem, but if his last spell is a removal spell, I would be in trouble. I think I want to attack and have him block. Do I want to attack with that? I think I do. I don't want to play Sylvac Replica. I can make it so that I only take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 potentially. It's a lot of damage. If he attacks and I block the Perilous Mirror, doesn't make me significantly better. I think I'm gonna have to pop the single pest now. And we're gonna have to slice in twain and hope he loses Metalcraft and block. He's not at that many cards. If I draw a land I could play. something. But he hits his extra artifact, that's not good. Except for he won't be paying mana to deal me extra damage, so it's not that bad. So we took 2 extra damage that we didn't need to. Took 1 extra damage that we didn't need to. Probably worth taking that damage. If we draw a land, we can play the Wall of Tangle Cord, hold back some of our dudes, and we'll be fine, potentially. That's interesting, I guess. If I play Wall of Tangle Cord in this Copper Mirror, and I hold back, or if I play Wall of Tangle Cord in this Glinthawk, does that make me better? Not really, that Grand Architect is still owning me. Copper Mirror might be better, that way I can have more mana next turn, except for then I have to take... Do I have to take that Clone Shell attack? No, I don't. So I'm going to hold this Slice and Twain because I can potentially knock him off Metalcraft. At some point I definitely want to play this Wall of Tangle Cord and leave a green open. I think I want to play this Copper Mirror because I can't afford this Glinthawk right now, and there might be a better play for it later. He only has 1 card in hand, and he has no cards in hand. He has this board. This board is pretty good, however, totally a solid board. So I want to block in a way that I won't lose too much. Pretty sure this is gonna die. I kinda want to clear off his artifacts. This way I'm gonna take 4 or 5 potentially. If I kill off enough of his artifacts though, because Slice and Twain, this Copper Mirror isn't going to save me any damage. It would save me 2 damage potentially. If he deals me 5, has a Peerless Mirror out, and whatever is under there, how much trouble am I in? It means that my Peace Strider would survive, and I would still have this Wall of Tangle Cord and 2 Mirror. I think I'm gonna let it go like this and hope for the best. Cool. So it's not an artifact, so we could potentially beat him up next turn. But we lost our big creature, so we can't really. Maybe our best bet is going to be to play Precursor Golem and Glinthawk. We're at 5 life though. So we draw a land. We're going to play this land. We got 3 extra mana after that if we played this Slice and Twain. To block that thing from flying. Is it that relevant? If we Slice and Twain that, we'll prevent ourselves a ton of damage. If we Precursor Golem, we're not preventing that much damage to ourselves. We're going to have to play this Glinthawk, target this, play the Glinthawk off the Golden Mirror, and then replay the Golden Mirror. Is that good? So Glinthawk can block Glinthawk, I think. Target artifact creature becomes blue. So if we play Glinthawk off a Glinthawk and play a Glinthawk, then we have 4 available mana. If we do it right. So he had like a really nutty start, but I think we could potentially be fine if he doesn't draw something ridiculous. Well, that's really good. That is really good. Wow, that's so good. That's so good for so many reasons. I'm gonna have to let him play it, let him sacrifice it, add mana, hope he equips it to the Perilous Mirror to sacrifice it, and we can make him lose Metalcraft that way. I don't see any other way for us to win. That was a really good draw for him. Okay, I mean, that Perilous Mirror represents 3 damage to us. That Mortar Pod is so much damage to us. It's too much damage and we're dead. We're dead no matter what happens. That was a pretty nutty draw he had. I guess he has a good deck though, although he's playing 3 colors with some questionable cards. That was really unfortunate for us. We could drop some. I think this is a good card against him. He had tons of artifacts. Tangle Hulk is probably less good against him. The deck was really aggressive, but I still don't think we want to play first. The deck was really aggressive. Was there any cards that we wouldn't want to see a lot of though? Late. He has a lot of flyers. I think I want to just draw outs to flyers. So I'm going to say no. This thing every fucking time. So he has like every possible flyer, it feels like. He's already down to 3 cards though. And we're going to play a pretty good card too. If he doesn't play Mortarpod here, he might be in trouble, but he might just play Mortarpod and run us over. His deck is pretty awesome, right? So we can't give this germ token protection from artifacts because he will lose his equipment. But maybe this will hold him back somewhat. Um, if I pop this, then his plan is going to be to attack with that signal pest. My plan is going to be to play a land, play a Silvok replica, pop that signal pest or snap seal grider, depending on the situation. Or to potentially just equip the Silvok replica. I think I want to block. Or potentially I want to keep this back. Maybe it represents blocking more. I think at the moment it prevents more damage to keep it around. So I think I'm going to play my card that will apply pressure on him. I didn't see any artifact removal in the first set, and he would first draft, and he played out every card in his hand. We can always do things about this later. And we're going to start hitting him pretty hard if he doesn't start accelerating into us. Or maybe he has the answer to this. Or maybe he doesn't. So I'm going to take this free kill. I'm going to take 6 down to 9. I'm going to have to defend myself, so I'm not going to equip Skinwing onto anything. Do this. It's okay. I'm gonna pop something on his side of the board, and then I'm going to block with the silver mirror and tell Jahala defiance him after he pays a blue to give it flying. It's not so good. Still gonna kill this Gust Skimmer, I think. Would I rather kill a Gust Skimmer or a Snapsail Glider? I think Gust Skimmer is just always better. Or Glinthawk Idol that can't deal me 2 this turn. I'm probably killing the... It doesn't have white to activate. I'm probably gonna kill the... Probably gonna kill a Snapsail Glider. Probably should have waited for him to tap his dude, but he does it anyways for me. So we have some plays here. One of them is just going to be attacking him, which is a pretty good play. I'm going to keep this silver mirror back, and I think I'm going to equip him. Because even if he has kill for him, it should prevent some damage to us. And potentially a removal spell for a precursor golem if he wants to play this way. If he wants to play to deal 4 damage, he'll probably die. Because we have this Defiance. Seems like it could get us some damage. I think I want my Snapsail Glider. That was probably a mistake not to board it in. Definitely a mistake not to board it in. I want to board out something that isn't that good against him. Glimmer Point Stag is not that good against him, and it could be hard to cast. I don't want to lose a game to Glimmer Point Stag being hard to cast. Glimmer Point Stag isn't that strong in our deck. It's not worth the risk. I'm going to play without it. So he chose to play last this hand. I don't want to mulligan with a hand like this. It's okay, it's playable. We're running out of time, so I'm going to play a little faster. I'm on a computer that doesn't have an F6 key, so if I am clicking too much, that is the reason why. So he plays out a bomb. I think we get more value out of our Sylvok replica later. He doesn't have any. We're gonna play it out. He doesn't have any. If we draw a Rusted Relic or anything, he doesn't have any removal. It's not really a risk. And if he has removal, it's probably getting worse value for it now. That's interesting. So we get 1 damage in. And we gain some life. And I go to the other computer. Okay, so that thing currently trades with our creature. Um, Still don't see myself killing it. Probably I need to draw out, not him. I'll play my 4/4. But I need to stop drawing land. 8 lands to 3 spells. Started 5 to 2. 3 lands for 1 spell. It's not such a good ratio. It's pretty bad. Especially when he keeps playing flyers. Especially when he's going to mill us. It's unclear. That thing costs a lot of mana to activate, and if he started activating that, he may fall behind us. Okay, so I think we're not going to kill that Decimator Web. We're going to let whatever happens with the Decimator Web. 2 life, 6 cards. It mills us pretty fast, but we have to start dealing damage. So I'm going to play a Plains. I'm going to go to Declare Attacker step, and I'm going to attack with all of these dudes. His blocks, if I attack with everybody, you could put a Gust Skimmer on the Silhouette Replica and then pay a blue to make it a blue creature. Or you can put the Clone Shell on something and pay a blue. But he can't do both, so I think this is the right attack. If he does it before combat, then we can always sacrifice our Silhouette Replica. I think we sacrifice our Silhouette Replica here. And we hope he doesn't have artifact removal. If he had artifact removal, he probably would have spent it on that Silhouette Replica. He may not have. He may also just draw removal, right? So either way, it's a bit of a risk. So we have board, I think. We have a bunch of creatures that he can't trade with evenly. He has a Decimator Web that will eventually win in the game, though, if he stabilizes. We have some draws as some pretty big creatures. We have Fangren Mauler. We have a bunch of big creatures. Skywing wouldn't be bad. Rusted Relics. There's like too many big cards for us to not do that well here. It looks like he's going to do 2 for 2, maybe? Clone Shell and Snapsteel Glider for 2 of our creatures. And he's going to take 10. Maybe he won't do that. He didn't activate it. What other draws do we have? We have like Slice and Twain. That Clone Shell creature can't be that good, if there's anything there. He was more willing to sacrifice the Gust Skimmer than the Clone Shell. Seems kind of odd. Lumen Girl Drake. Maybe on our Precursor Golem, that would be nice. Of course not. But it does give us something to do next turn. Maybe mask the fact that we have nothing to do. So we have an Origin Spellbomb now. But I still think I prefer Keeper. He can't turn any of those creatures into 3/3s. He can double block. I'm gonna attack and let him double block, I think. He's running out of cards. We just got this Origin Spellbomb. Pretty good. I'm happy that he's sacrificing it that way. Clone Shell, would I rather know about a creature right now? No, I think I want to sin out his board so he takes more damage next turn. And that Snapside Glider presents more of a threat to me. He is at 6. I play this. And I play a land in this token, and I think I might crack it at end of turn just for a token without drawing a card, but I might not. I'll see how the board looks. So right now he can kill 2 of my 3/3s and potentially has another 3/3 underneath that Clone Shell. It can't be that good of a creature, but it could be a 2/2 artifact potentially. Why would he want to sacrifice his Gust Skimmer instead of his Clone Shell? I'm not too sure. I can't really read into it too much because I think in almost any situation, whether or not that Clone Shell has a creature under it is a worse play. He is passing, so I can get an extra damage in this turn. But I think drawing a card is pretty valuable for me. Because I'm running out of spells, but I hit a spell. I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to attack into his Divine Justice, I think. Maybe I should have thought about that beforehand. I just thought it was a Decimator Web, but it seems pretty obvious that it's going to be all my creatures to a Divine Justice. Or maybe not actually, because if it was all my creatures to a Divine Justice, this would look different. He also only had 1 card in hand. He might be in trouble. He wouldn't double block if he had Divine Justice. Okay, so we go kill all those dudes. Potentially there's something really awesome underneath that. So that stuff happens. It's a lot of milling. I want to know what's underneath there. Tell me what is underneath there. It's the plains. So now we beat him. He's gonna need too many turns, I think, to beat us. We're gonna draw 2 spells, 2 lands, 2 somethings. If he says go, it looks a little bit like a concession. Still gonna make sure I make this token end of turn. We're at 4 minutes playtime. Crack it. Crack it. Skywink's pretty good. Draw a card, Slice and Twain prevents us from dying to Decimator Web. He gets 2 activations here, but we're gonna attack and see if he can do anything first. So he can't activate Decimator Web, so I think it's not an issue. He needed to activate it this turn, activate it next turn, live for a turn. But I think this is just going to be too much for him. And that's the match. Oh, it's the thing I had on top of my library. And stop.